Hey Baddie, welcome back to the Baddest You podcast, where every listen takes you to the baddest version of yourself. I am your Baddie mindset coach, Ambria. Make sure you guys check me out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at the Baddest You. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria. And let's get into this week's episode. This week, I'm teaching you how to feel secure within yourself without other people's validation, how to trust yourself, loving yourself, and all of the above. So the first step when it comes to feeling secure within yourself is understanding that true security within only stems from you validating yourself. Most people get their validation from other people's opinions, from circumstances going their way or not, from the past, from all of the above, but the true validation comes from having a healthy self-concept, okay? And your self-concept is fully in your control. It's your perception of yourself. It is your responsibility. And the sooner we take control of this perspective of ourselves and we choose to see ourselves highly, regardless of any circumstance or any situation, the sooner we're going to feel more secure within. So the first step to feeling secure within yourself is validating yourself, because your opinion matters most. It's about seeing yourself as a person of value, seeing your word as valuable, seeing your own opinion as valuable, right? You are the one to impress. And so when you start shifting the dynamic when it comes to you and the world around you, you are going to see yourself feeling way more secure because you're not trying to impress other people. You understand that it is a privilege and honor to be in your presence. You understand that you are beautiful, that you are a person that is so worthy. And the sooner you start stepping into this inner knowing, the more you're going to feel more secure within. So it really is about giving yourself permission to stop relying on the world around you for validation, okay? So ask yourself next time, what do I think about the way I look? What do I think about this outfit? What do I feel about this situation, this circumstance? Start trusting your opinion more often. It's really about reparenting yourself, because your inner child within you is feeling this sense of insecurity. And I always say it's like your inner child and being in the back seat. You currently is in the front seat and you're driving a car. Inner child you is like drive over the cliff or drive into the water. And current you is just going with the insecure energy and just driving into the cliff or driving into the water. But what if I told you that you owe it to yourself to reparent yourself? You have to say, no, I know that we feel this fear, but we're safe instead. I know we feel insecure, but we are valuable. I know we feel ugly, but we actually are beautiful. You have to affirm yourself instead. You have to decide who you are. You have to understand that your true value comes from you. And so you have to have the courage to say, no, inner child, I'm not going to drive into the water. We're going to keep going on the road. Even if we're feeling anxious, we're going to do deep breathing. We're going to listen to affirmations. We're going to journal. We're going to go for a walk. Even if we feel anxious, we're going to remember who we are at the end of the day. The thing is, Baddie, our self-concept comes from our beliefs of ourselves. The way we perceive the world, what we expect in the world around us, circumstances, results, situations, it's all a reflection of our self-concept, how we view ourselves, how high or low we view ourselves, highly dictates what we expect in the world around us. And our beliefs about ourselves stem from repetition. And any belief stems from repetition. So if you consistently believe over and over and over because someone in your youth told you to believe that you're ugly, then you're going to consistently believe that you're ugly, right? Your neural pathway is traveling in a certain direction because you just feel like this is normal for me. I am ugly. It doesn't mean it's true though. It's just programming. It's a belief. And so the key to having new beliefs is being consistent in a new belief system, right? Being consistent in a new belief. And so the key to forming new beliefs and having that new sense of security within is every time you feel that anxiety, every time you feel that fear, every time you feel that insecurity, you're going to affirm the opposite. It's a practice I do with a lot of my baddies and healing sessions that I offer to my baddies. By the way, check out thebaddiePsychic.com if you're interested in booking with me. But I always do practices with them. I'm like, okay, I'm going to create a situation for you and you're going to feel the emotion you're feeling and affirm the opposite instead. So let's say you're in a position, you're in a group of people and someone says you're ugly. What do you feel? You're feeling anxious, you're feeling insecure. You're going to feel that feeling and affirm, I'm valuable regardless of the circumstance, right? You aren't supposed to run in this energy of fear and anxiety and stress and look for something outside of you to validate you and I need to feel secure and like running until you feel better, because remember, you're never going to truly feel secure if you keep looking for validation outside of you. You're supposed to stop and affirm yourself instead and be consistent at that so it forms into a new belief. And so the more you show up for yourself in this way, the more you're going to start trusting yourself. All right, Baddie? So understand that your self-concept from here on out, you have to demand, I'm a person that's valuable. You have to be mindful of the story you're telling yourself. You have to be intentional with the words you're using to describe yourself, intentional with what you're expecting in the world around you. You have to start playing a new role in your life. You are the CEO of your life. You can hire and fire accordingly. The role that you're assuming you're in, where it's, am I going to win in this situation? What's going to happen? Oh, this person did this to me. When we are assuming we're in victim roles, we're in loser roles, we manifest that outcome. that you have to say, I'm too bad for that. I'm too much of a baddie for that. I'm too valuable for that. I could never lose. You have the power to dictate that, you know what, from here on out, I win. From here on out, I'm valued. From here on out, I'm treated with the respect I deserve. From here on out, I choose to be a winner. I don't allow myself to think of myself in any way less. I don't allow myself to feel insecure. I don't allow myself to run in energies of fear and anxiety and stress. Because the thing is, next time something happens, you're going to feel the feeling, but you're going to still affirm I'm winning anyway, right? You're going to still affirm I'm still valuable regardless of the circumstance. You're still going to affirm regardless I'm the person to impress. And so if you can be consistent in affirming who you are and you use circumstances around you to practice this new belief, you will start feeling way more secure on a consistent basis. Okay, baddies? So like I said, it really does come from trusting yourself, seeing yourself as a person of value. You are a person of value. All right, repeat after me. I am valuable because I am me. Absolutely. You are absolutely valuable. And because you are you. I told you guys, we were born with infinite value. And the only thing that separates us from our worth is our awareness of our worth. If we see ourselves up here, we are going to be available for the absolute best experiences, right? We won't settle for less. We won't deal with people who treat us bad. We won't feel like we have to settle for jobs that aren't paying us enough. No, we're going to feel like we want the absolute best out of life and feel worthy of having just that, the absolute best. We will no longer settle. So the first step is recognizing anything that you could possibly want for yourself ever. You are more than worthy of having it. There is nothing outside of you that has more value than you. You are the most valuable person in your reality. You're the most important person in your reality, and you are the one to impress. So in order to build this self-trust, you have to start relying on your own opinion more often. You have to start trusting your own experience and perspective. You have to start demanding that you are the one to impress. You have to start being a person of value. You don't feel secure by chasing security. You feel secure by being a person that is secure mentally, emotionally, and actions-wise. A person that's secure, how do they show up? Right? They have confidence in what goes next for them. They feel grateful for how things are unfolding for them. They're showing up as a person that's successful, working on their routine, working on their finances, working on their self-care, working on their self-love, being a better version of themselves. They're their top priority. See, the thing is, you aren't supposed to show up as a version of yourself that's not winning and expect to win. You're supposed to be a person who's winning regardless, which means you're no longer attached to any outcomes or circumstances, people, or situations in the first place. And so you have to start building that self-trust by seeing yourself as a person that's worthy of trust. If you get up and you say you're going to do something like get up early or you're going to go to the gym, do that. If you say you're going to be a person that from here on out, if someone treats you a certain way, you will set a certain boundary, do that. You build self-trust by showing yourself you are a trustworthy individual, right? Imagine that somebody asked you on a date and every single time that they were going to meet with you, they flaked on the date. You would stop trusting that person. It's the same thing with you. You are a person of value. And so the first step of getting that sense of security is treating yourself like a person of value, all right? No more giving your power up to people who don't understand you or who are committed to misunderstanding you, who hasn't lived a single day in your shoes, who cannot understand your perspective and expecting them to define who you are. No more victimizing yourself based on people, places, and situations when you are the co-creator. This is your reality. You are the dominating force when it comes to creating the outcomes you want. No more feeling victimized because of circumstances and situations when you're the only person who dictates you are a winner. Remember, baddies, the first step to getting anything you want is believing you can have it. And so if you want to feel secure, you have to demand that you are a person that deserves to feel secure. And number two, you have to be a person that decides to be secure, not a person that chases security. So validate yourself, show up for yourself, and own your power, and you will see yourself move in this direction. And finally, baddies, be the CEO of your life. Like I said, this is your life. Hire and fire accordingly. In a lot of ways, like we can find ourselves trying to dim our light or trying to give other people our power to feel safe. This is survival mode, but we're thriving now. Okay, we're no longer in a position where we're looking for somebody else's opinion to make us feel like we're gonna be okay, or we're looking for somebody else's words or actions, absence, or presence to make us feel like we're going to be okay. Regardless of how this person shows up, you're going to get the love you deserve regardless. Okay, regardless of how this job looks, your money is going to be fine regardless. It is about you owning your self-concept. Self-concept overrides every single thing. And so you have to remember, it's not about you and this person, you and the circumstance, you and the situation. It's about you versus you. If you say, well, I can't because of this thing, then you are right. If you say I win regardless, then you are right. If you say I can't because this person left and they cheated or they did this and that, then you are right. If you say regardless of how a person treats me, I'm going to get the love I deserve at the end of the day, then you are right. What story are you telling yourself, right? You can't win and lose in the same statement. You got to make a choice. And you definitely cannot lack your way into abundance, trying to focus on losing and victimizing yourself and putting yourself in a losing position and being like, I can't win, and then expect yourself to win, right? The first step to getting what you want is believing you can have it. And so if you want to feel secure in yourself, you have to say, you know what? Of course I feel secure. Of course I can win. I know my worth. My value comes from me. I know exactly who I am. All right? Own it. It is in your hands. It's not something to chase. You will chase for the rest of your days. And if you, right, your sense of self comes from how other people view you or how other people treat you, you will be chasing for the rest of your life. Okay? So if you want to have real power, if you want to have real strength, then you have to start standing up within yourself and deciding who you are, regardless of other people's opinion, regardless of another person's action, regardless of their presence or their absence, regardless of if you have enough or you don't feel like you have enough, regardless of the circumstance. Why? Because you are the abundance. You are the power source. You are the creative energy here. And most importantly, you are the baddest to ever do it. You hear me? You are the most powerful person in your reality. And the only reason why you don't feel secure is because you haven't decided to be secure. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of the Baddest You podcast. Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria. Follow the Baddest You on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. And I will see you guys on next week's episode. Bye, baddies. Mwah.